Okay, here we are again, ASAC, and back with another tutorial video. So today we're going to go over joining the circuit and doing a full standard overhead join. That's right, so I'm just north of Taton Hill at 2,500 feet. So I'm going to turn back towards the airfield now and then start the rejoin procedure. So first of all we need the feeder check, which is flaps are up, fuel is on and sufficient, radios are set as required, direction, the heading indicator is set properly, and altitude we need to set QFE. So if I go up to 2,500 feet again, the QFE is basically, so it reads 0 when we're on the ground. And there is a weird and wonderful way to do the calculation, but the easiest way is to take the airfield elevation off of the cruising altitude. So I'm 2,500 feet. I know the airfield is 450 feet above sea level, so I'll take 450 feet off that. So my height above the ground is 2,050 feet. So really I want to drop down to 2,000 feet, which is the altitude for an overhead join. Now this is a standard left-hand circuit with the circuit altitude of 1,000 feet. So the overhead join is 1,000 feet above standard circuit height. So at the minute we have to land on runway 26. So what I'm doing is I'm going to cross the runway threshold of 08 and I'm going to have runway 26 to my left. So what we're doing really is we're going to fly this circuit at 2,000 feet. So when I make my left turn after crossing the threshold, I will be on downwind but 1,000 feet above. So it'll make more sense when I do it. So I'm at 2,000 feet now, which is the height I need. That's runway 26. That is where I need to be landing. The purpose of the overhead join is so you can have a good look at the airfield and you have time to listen and see what other aircraft are doing, so that you're prepared when you come in to land. So we are passing it over the airport now. The threshold for 08 is beneath me, and then once I pass that football ground there, I'm going to turn left onto downwind, but we won't call it downwind because it's 1,000 feet above downwind. Okay, so the idea is we're going to turn downwind, fly over that, we're going to fly over base at 2,000 feet. Once we've crossed the threshold for 26, which is the runway we're landing on, then we can begin the descent to 1,000 feet. So I'm going to start the turn. Okay, so we are flying above downwind at the minute. We want to land on runway 26. We are above downwind for runway 26. Okay, so we're going to turn left and cross the threshold, and then once we've crossed the threshold we're going to basically do a standard cruise descent to 1,000 feet and then rejoin the normal circuit. So still want to maintain 2,000 for now because we can see the airport's down there. Now we'll call that, once we've crossed the threshold, we call that dead side, because there should be no traffic on that side unless you're descending to join the pattern. So we are now crossing the threshold. So standard descent, carb heat on, back to about 1700 RPM, and then we can begin the turn to dead side. This is where we would call descending dead side. Golf Lima Oscar. Okay, and then we need to cross the runway 08 threshold again. And this is why it's important to look out, because if you can imagine, aircraft are taking off on 26, so we could be in their path. Right, power back on, carb heat off, maintain 1000, and then we're flying a standard crosswind leg. There's the airport, which we've just done at 2000. Now we're at 1000. We are actually in the circuit to land. Okay, we're on downwind. We can do the checks, which is the bump pitch checks. Brakes are off, undercarriage is fixed, mixture is fully rich, flaps are up, fuel is on and sufficient, prop is not on this aircraft, and instruments legible, serviceable, readings within limits. Carb heat, we can check that, no problem. Hatches and harnesses are secured. Got the threshold there. So in a moment I'll begin the turn to base and the setup for final approach. I'll start the turn now. Okay, that's just a standard base and final into Taton Hill. Ideally we want to be about 600 feet on the turn for final. Not there yet. And maintaining 65 knots for the final approach. Always having an idea of where you're going to put it if the engine suddenly dies. Right, so drop the last stage of flap, we can switch the carb heat off. And then we want 55 knots. Not the best positioning on the runway, but I think it was a nice touchdown. So, this particular airfield, they like you to backtrack the runway. So, always backtrack on the centre line. Because if aircraft are coming in on final, they're not going to be looking to the sides of the runway, they will be looking at the centre line. Okay, so we just taxi on to the parking area. Little thing worth knowing, if you're taxiing from concrete onto grass, head to the grass at a 45-degree angle. And then it stops you, or it reduces the chance of you striking the prop, because it's a softer angle. Okay, and there we have it. Okay, thanks for watching. If you like the video, hit like and subscribe, and feel free to join my Facebook page, which is Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 Newbies. Okay, thanks for watching.